party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rock, Uncle Freezy, in the building Saturday afternoon, trying something new. I'm really excited to have an in-depth conversation with a person that I am a huge fan of, right? and listen, I know what y'all are gonna say, right? Off the rip. If Uncle Freezy and this gentleman are together, then the world must be at a standstill because nobody hustles harder than these two gentlemen. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my guy Cevere to the stage. Them
No.
severely yours is in the building.
What's good, Uncle
Um,
Freezy, man? What's good, man? I'm honored to be here, man. Listen, man. I've been a fan of yours for quite some time, man. It's been 3, 4 years, man, since me and you chopped it up like and got to know each other, man. Back
right,
then, you taught me the podcast game. You gave me some tips, man.
right, right,
So,
right.
I look at you as the role model, as the person that I need to be. And so for you to tell me and give me that great intro, man, it's a blessing, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So the intro was easy because all you have to do is if you just tell the truth, if you just say stuff you believe in, bro, it's easy. If I had to make something up, I'd still be talking. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies
Toast
and
to you,
gentlemen,
man. Toast to you, man. It's water.
hey, man,
Yeah.
salute. Yeah,
Mm.
man. Um, so everybody, for those of you that are new and are watching, for one, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Listen, his shorts are fantastic. The shorts are fantastic. I come across them during the course of the day, and sometimes I catch myself just going to the channel and watching a number of them in a
Yeah.
row back to back, and that's fire. I don't normally do that, man, but you know what? That's fire. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing.
What's up?
I want to do a short intro for people that are new to the both of us, and then we can get into two or three of these topics that I had two times. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had two topics. Maybe I was like, yo, one of these days, whenever we get together, I'm gonna ask him about how important is financial literacy and financial education to the hood. I was always gonna ask you that, regardless when we ever did it, right? And then another thing I wanted to talk to you about is the hypersensitivity of our community. But
Yeah.
before we get into that, um, um, if you don't mind sharing some of the things that you do for a living, because I think you're an author, right? How
Yeah,
many
but
books you have? Three,
I have 3 books out. Yes.
three books, right? Right, right,
So
right.
how I would answer that question first, I would answer it that I'm a father first, and recently I've been out of work. I'm a facility. I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in architectural engineering, and I have a degree in facilities management.
Okay,
And I've been out of work for a couple months now. And
okay,
so what I've been doing is my one of my other passions, which is writing. And I, actually wrote 3 books within, I would say, a 6 to 7 month frame.
right,
2 books that you can actually get on, paper and feel. I got Severe's Chronicles Volume 1, and
right,
got a lot of what I do is break down a lot of the albums that you see me do live on YouTube, and then
right,
this year I did a book called Severe's Chronicles Volume 2, but this is Severe's classics, and this because of the 50th year of hip hop.
right, right.
I wanted to do some only classic albums that I believe are classics, and that's what's in this one right here. And that's True
Okay,
Vine Publishing, man. It's a black publishing company, man. If y'all got a book, everybody has a book in them.
right.
Go, just go talk to True Vine Publishing, man. He'll hook you up with a deal. Get your book out, man. But yeah, I got 3 books. They all on ebook as well. What I'm doing is, Uncle Freezy, for
Yeah.
albums, I put them in the books when I break them
Okay.
down.
Okay.
For anything that's an EP or lower is gonna go on directly to ebook form. So
Okay.
my first book is on ebook. I got one book on ebook that I started the EPs on already. It's
Okay.
all EPs Need Love too. Severe's EPs. So
Okay.
Severe's extended plays actually. Severe's extended plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so you are a busy guy. So for one, so for the record, everyone, so I often put a rock in Severe's shoe about New Edition being overrated.
I was wondering what you're gonna
Right.
say. You know,
And,
it's
and,
gonna be like 10
and
minutes into the frame.
right. And
You
so and
waiting for
so
like the magic word. It should be like a explosion when you say new edition.
right. I wish I had a DJ horn or something.
There you go.
and so and
When you
so
gonna
and,
mention new edition? Here we go.
and so
What we
here's
got?
the thing. Here's the thing. I do that to troll with love, right? So I troll. That's how we get
I'm gonna
assets
troll you
over
now. Assets
liabilities,
over
right?
liabilities.
Right. So that's how we, that's my icebreaker, so to speak, sometimes, right? Um, even though I really don't believe that, it's just our regional biases come into play sometimes when it comes to certain things, whether it's arts and entertainment or food or
Yep.
places to travel
Yep.
or fashion. Our regional biases play a lot into that. Um, but I wanted to ask you about because you said like four things. I was trying to jot them down while you. I was trying to jot them down while you were talking about it, right? But let me first start by asking, um, what would make a young man get a degree in architectural engineering?
That's a great question. Great question, Freezy. So it all started basically with my mom's. My mom's is a carpenter. She did construction,
Okay.
and so single moms. I have an older sister, 2 years older than me. So I had a sister and me, my mom's. It was just us three. She was a carpenter, construction worker. So my sister would take care of me in the
Right.
projects. Back in the day, you could be like, I don't know, 8 years old. My sister probably was 8 years old taking care of me, and I was 6. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
nobody would say nothing. We'd be in that house by ourselves, and my sister would be able to take care of me from
Yeah.
all the whole time, 9 to 5. My mother's working, whatever it is. So
Right.
it was days like that, and yeah. So like for my mother's a strong woman. She taught me about construction, carpentry, and then
Right.
she used to always take me on scenic. We used to always go on scenic routes and look at the great buildings, constructions, or whatever. Not the highways, just the back roads.
Right. Right.
The smaller highways, right? And I fell in love with architecture through that, and then I went to study architecture engineering while I was younger, probably before high school, middle school, and I was studying
Okay.
all the way. I got to college, and I that's what I went for in college. So I got an
Okay.
associate's degree in architecture engineering, so I could read plans, draw plans. I can submit plans, but they got to get blessed by the city. But
Right.
I can design your house if you wanted me to.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I went to school I took a year off because of money, and then so I went back to working like 2 jobs again.
Right.
Went and got scholarships. Went for the program called Youth Build. It's like a job and a school. They had
Right.
3 scholarships, and it was like 250 students out of the 250 students. I got one of those scholarships. That's what, there was only like 2 of them they had at the end of the year. I got the scholarship, went back to school, went back to Wentworth Institute, and got a degree in facilities management. Man, I've been doing it ever since, like 20 plus years. Man, it's a dope career. I love it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a fascinating backstory, man. It's one of the things that I often speak to or try to speak to on this forum is that the sharing of education and bringing education back to our neighborhoods is very important, but I feel like we're lacking in that area overall. Overall,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I'm not going to slight my parents, right? Because my parents did it the opposite way of what you did, right? My just as a refresher,
Mm-hmm.
my father didn't really teach me much about anything, right? Except sports. Like, be a great athlete, right? Drink a lot of liquor, talk a lot of
Yeah.
trash.
Oh, yeah. So your father was like kind of like a pimp, a gangster or something.
No, he was just an average worker bee
Oh, but had
that that
personality.
that perpetuated that artificial lifestyle,
Okay.
right?
What he
Right.
what he was programmed to do.
Right. By right, right,
Yeah.
right. He went to work every day. He worked hard. Now, I'm not taking anything away.
Of
He
course.
worked at Ford Motor Company for 30 years.
Shout out to
He
your
t- went
dad,
to,
man.
yeah. Yeah, thank you, man. And he passed away in 2003, right? And I miss him a lot, but I do wish things would have been different. And then my mom, too, by the way, was a very young mom. She was
Hmm.
when I was born. Like, she had just turned 20 when I was born. She was
Oh
very young.
wow. So yeah, so she was young. Yeah, okay.
And so she didn't grow up in the city. She grew up in a small country town, and so she just did the best that she could do with us, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the oldest, right? But but one of the things I want to touch on with you is that as soon as you said, as soon as you mentioned that your mom took you places and showed you stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, educating on that maternal, but also um, preparatory level.
Yeah.
Because I think in life we get a lot of school of hard knocks education and not preparatory education. Like we
Yeah,
get
my mother taught me at home as well. Like she couldn't take me, passport stamp places,
right.
but
Yep.
she could take me as long as her vehicle could go and travel there. She would take us to these places that looked exotic, to where we lived. We lived in the projects, so the places she took us was
What area did y'all grow up?
backwards. Well, I grew up Boston Orchard Park projects, and I grew up in Faneuil projects in Brighton.
Okay.
Um, so that was, those are my two projects that I repped back then,
Okay.
and
Right.
got in trouble, all, whatever, all that
Part of
funny.
growing up. Part of growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of growing up. Yeah. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The preparatory education that you got at home.
yeah,
I think, man, if more families did that at home, I think life would have been so much easier as we stepped out. And not saying that you had it easy. That's
no, I
not
didn't
what
have
I'm
it easy
saying.
at all. The perfect example is, and this is one of the, going back to what you're saying is, her, giving us that balance. Yeah, we had a lot of negative things, just things that happen in every day. You think about Project Life, you hear about it in raps. All that
Right.
stuff's true. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? So I went through a lot of that stuff. I mean, if y'all listen to hip hop, y'all know what I'm referring to. I have to like, go key for key and line for line of what's going on in the project. It was some
Right.
sad times, some bad times. But
Right.
my mother always kept a chipper shoulder, man. She used to like teach us how to play games, not just games in the house, smart games, like
Right.
Scrabble and Clue or
Right.
like a mystery game or Trivia Pursuit. We played a lot of Trivia Pursuit,
Right. Right.
answering questions like kind of like Jeopardy questions, right? Stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, so
The irony is my mom brought me Trivial Pursuit for Christmas maybe like 3 times. I remember
yeah,
the first
yeah,
time I
yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember the first time I got it. I was
Me
like, "What
too,
is
me
this?"
too, me too.
You know. But
Hmm.
yeah. So it sounds as if that you had a plan early on, but it was based on um um some education that you learned at home, and not that your mom wanted you to do exactly what she did, but it sounds as if she sparked your interest and it sparked your intellect at an early age, and you made your own decisions, right? But at whatever road you went down those roads with a vigor and aggressiveness because of an interest, and not because, not taking a job just because it pays the bills.
100%. I think she didn't force me to do anything. She just taught me various things, but just it's like her putting like six toys on the table instead of one toy. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and I had an option to figure it out on my own. Me and my sister figured it out on our own, man. And two different individuals. You meet my sister, you would never think I'm her brother. You know, two different individuals, but we loved each other. We grew up, and we loved the can't stand each other, right? So we but we just a good family dynamic between the three of us. Even though we was living in those JJ good times, vibes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Like I did not grow up in the projects,
yeah,
but we did grow up poor. So while I understand that there are differences, but trust, I do understand their similarities, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up in the ghetto, and I'm talking about in Jersey City. I'm talking about the ghettoest of ghettos, but we didn't know it was ghetto though.
yeah,
Our sense was that it was like normal life. I think was this when some of the streets that we grew up on,
mm-hmm.
there were crimes being committed.
Yeah,
There were a lot of stuff going on the street and stuff, but we didn't know that as kids. As kids, we just felt
well,
like,
yeah. That's the thing I was gonna say though. Like that too. And me too. I was a kid. It was like I remember growing up as a kid. I played crate ball. We
oh
we,
yeah,
we, formed,
yeah,
we formed groups and thought we was ABC. And we sung songs in the back porch, practicing steps. I've
right,
done that stuff, but at
right,
the same time, like then there was friends I hung out with that were completely opposite. They were more
right,
crime vindicates. You know what I'm saying? Breaking
right,
in houses, stealing cars,
right.
carrying guns, starting street fights, stuff like that. So I did a little bit of both. I was kind of a nerd, but I kind of was a kind of hood nerd if you think about it. Like
Yeah, that's me.
I rode with both crews. It was weird.
Yeah, that's me. I'm in that group of the ghetto intellect or the intelligent hoodlum. I'm in those groups,
There you go.
right?
Intelligent hoodlum. That's
Uh,
that's the perfect, yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Intelligent Hoodlum, the rapper. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Great
so
name.
so yeah, so I'm in those groups, and a lot of times I feel like because what happens is when people hear me speak, they're like, "Oh my goodness, man, he must have like 4 degrees. He
Yeah.
must be from he must be from Nebraska or something, right?"
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah,
Somewhere with the high education
yeah,
rate, the high colleges, the best college. Well, Boston. That way you'll be from Harvard or some type of Cambridge school, MIT.
yeah. But
Yeah.
nah, I'm everyday people, bro. I'm from
He's like,
I'm, I'm people everyday people, right? But the thing is, um, with me, we even growing up in the ghetto, I never wanted to be the ghetto gangster, right? Even
yeah,
though I listened to a lot of hip hop over the years, and a lot of the stuff that they were saying, I knew those places,
yeah.
and I knew
Oh
some of
yeah.
those
That's right.
people.
Cause you're from New York, so you've been at a lot of places. Where you from in New York again?
I'm from Jersey City. I'm from
Oh,
New
Jersey. Oh,
Jersey,
Jersey. That's right.
but it's like the Boston thing, like where certain things might happen in certain areas of Boston, but then there are areas of Boston that are outside of Boston that's
Yeah,
not really Boston, but it's like 10 minutes away.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You
Yeah,
gotta like,
yeah. So it's like that for me, where I was probably 12 minutes away from Midtown Manhattan, right? I was 25 minutes away from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, and I was probably about, based on traffic, like an hour or two away from Brooklyn, right?
yeah,
So while I wasn't from those places, I had family from Inwood, South Bronx. My grandfather lived in the South Bronx. We used to go over there during the summers and all that stuff. So I'm not from New York, but I'm New York influenced. If that
okay.
New York adjacent, I
Well, that
guess.
makes sense. I mean, I know
Yeah.
because I know you're a Knicks fan. I'm like, man, this dude.
Yeah. See, okay, all right, relax. We gotta relax on the Knicks.
Yeah, yeah,
it
relax.
looked like he was about to ready to call my Knicks trash. I
No,
know,
I
I
wasn't
know.
gonna
We're
say nothing.
struggling.
I was gonna say they doing good. They did good last year.
Yeah. But even with all that said, man, I always had a mindset to be a Paul Robeson or a Sidney Poitier, you know what I'm saying, or a Langston Hughes, or a James Earl Jones, or something like that, something to represent my people. Like you can come from a place, but you don't have to be that place,
Oh,
right?
100%.
And so that was my thing early on, right? When like when you mentioned the street fights and the guns and I remember one of my homeboys, we were like 9 years old, right? And my mom frustrated me because we had soda in the fridge and she would only let us drink Kool-Aid, right? And I was mad at her. I'm 9. Who she thinks she is? She won't
Exactly.
let us drink no soda. You know, so she got making us drink Kool-Aid, man. And
Yeah.
then got the nerve to say, if you don't like it, drink water. This is my mindset. I'm 9, right?
Yep.
So I go outside. And I'm talking that noise with one of my homeboys, probably Keith from across the street. You know what I'm saying? And for those watching, if you're not from the city, everybody in the city has a nickname, seems like, right?
Everybody
That's how
has names.
that's
Everybody
how
has
we
names.
tell each other apart.
Yep. Yep.
Like in our hood, it might be
Because there might be
20,
20 Sean's or something.
right? And then you got Black Sean,
Yep.
Sean from up the street,
Yep. Little
Woodlawn
Sean,
Sean,
Sean Jr.,
yeah, Sean up the Ave,
Shiz,
yeah,
Shizmatic.
yeah,
I
yeah,
heard so many of them.
yeah. So
Rush
this,
Sean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So I'm talking to Keith from across the street, right? And I'm like, yo, who she thinks she is, man? All that Pepsi in there, and she gonna talk about, man, drink some Kool-Aid, man. I'm tired of great Kool-Aid every time we eat, man. I gotta drink great Kool-Aid, and then she gonna talk about drink water if I don't like it, right? And so our homeboy from round the way, I'll never forget.
yeah.
Our homeboy from round the way, it was a dude named Darius, right? So Darius came around, bro, and he just plopped down on my stoop. He looked vexed, right? All of we 9, bro,
Yeah.
right? And Darius plopped down on my stoop, bro, and he just pulled out a pack of Newports, man, and just started
What?
smoking him a cigarette.
Like
Yo, it was the wildest
it
thing,
was
bro.
nothing, like it was
He's
natural.
9, bro.
He just
So
pulled them out.
yes,
Flipped it up
yes,
like Tom and Jerry or something. Flipped it up like Tom and
yeah.
Jerry.
He was, yo, we were 9, and bro, when I say he was 9, bro, I'm older than him,
Yeah.
right? So it blew my mind to see him smoke a cigarette, yo. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? You gonna get us killed? My grandmother gonna look out the window and see us smoking. Now, mind you, I ain't smoked nothing, right? But I'm like, yo, my grandmother gonna look at. He like, man, I'm tired, bro. I'm about to run away, and I'm like, run away?
What?
Yeah, and then at that
He's
moment,
stressed out.
bro.
He need therapy right now.
Yeah, but you know what he was going through.
What's up?
We didn't know when I had known him my whole life, right? Since about 5, just about so my whole if you 5, if you 9, and you know since you was 5, that's your whole life basically,
Pretty
right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so he started telling me about how his mom and pop fight every night, all night long, and how his mom is on drugs and his pops don't never come home and he always be drinking and all that stuff.
All the
And
time.
yeah, how he'll never get no rest and how they be beating him and all this. This is what he was telling me. He just broke down, bro. It legit went from one day we was playing basketball, eating ice cream off the ice cream truck, to the very next day this dude is telling me all these things about him that I never knew.
Yeah.
Right? And here it is. I'm tripping because my mom won't let me drink Pepsi. And here it is. His mom is a drug addict and his pops is an alcoholic, and all they do
You
is
can't
fight each
compare.
other.
You can't compare those. You can't compare those. These are
Right. Nah.
deeper. He got deeper issues than you. You to be crying about not getting soda.
Yeah.
His mom's crying about not getting the next hit, not selling TVs. He's crying because the TV sold or whatever. Like
Right.
so. Yeah,
Right.
these are deep issues, like just like your topics, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, but that's how I knew right then, in that moment, right, I didn't go through the stuff that he was going through, but right then when he shared that with me, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, the hood ain't for me, bro. The hood is now, mind you, these issues can exist in any place.
Of course.
But as a 9 year old, I didn't know that. All I knew was the hood where we lived. Like I grew up in on the hill in Jersey City, a very violent place. It's still a violent place right now, right?
Which rappers are close to you? Like there's Raw Digger, there's what Lauren Hill. You got what
No, it's
Ransom. Like are they
um
from around that area?
close to me is Heather B.
Heather B. Oh, Heather B.
Um
Yeah.
um
Shout out to
Joe
Heather B.
Budden.
Joe Budden. Shout out to Joe Budden.
Yeah, though, yeah. Chill Rob G, a rapper from back in the day, a
Still
dude
Rob
named
G. I remember him.
Chill Rob G, yeah. A dude that never got signed a label deal, but a dude named Victor Quick. He would remind you of, so we're in our 50s, so he would remind you of what a Ludacris would have been in the early 80s,
Oh wow.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, he was exceptionally talented, humorous, could rap on a
Yeah.
dime, and he was a couple of years. I think he was a couple of years older than, maybe a year older than me. But birthdays, you know how your birthdays be. He's in a higher grade than me, but every now and then, he, like when I was 9, he might be 11. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Like
so it
a year or
wasn't
two
that it
older.
wasn't that he got
Yeah.
left back or I skipped. It was just how the calendar fall, right?
Hmm.
And so when Darius lit up a cigarette in front of me and started smoking, and from then on, right, and it's crazy how young you are when these things happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But from then on, I was like, yeah, I'm not going. This ain't the move. So from then on, we used to walk and talk, like our little crew of the little shorty crew of like 8 or 9 of us walking together, you know what I'm saying, looking for trouble or playing
Yeah.
sports or whatever, you know what
Everybody
I'm
had a
saying?
crew. Everybody had a crew, man.
Yeah, yeah. So and the fortunate part of our crew is that everybody made it except for Darius. So
Oh, damn.
Darius was the one, man. Unfortunately, he the one that succumbed to the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? When by the time I got in high school and moved away,
Yeah.
they was already talking about how he was on drugs and still breaking in people's cars and stealing cars and all that stuff. And so I kind of lost touch with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I got a couple questions that I want to kind of get into with you.
Okay.
Um just to touch on a few things. I I really value your um I don't want to say the analytical way you think, because everybody thinks analytically or critically to a certain extent, right? But I really value the way or your perspective, right? Based on certain topics. And y'all can check it out. Y'all can check him out on you're on TikTok and you do YouTube shorts also?
Yeah. Yeah. YouTube
So
and TikTok Shorts.
yeah, so make sure y'all can check out what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta you know believe what I'm saying. You know, check out the YouTube shorts. I like the TikTok shorts personally. I guess
Yeah.
the format of it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I want to ask you this, right? Um well, you know what? I'll combine two questions, right? Because I was gonna ask you about your feel of hip hop, right? But I also want to ask you about today's hypersensitive culture, right? Do you think hip hop plays a role in our hypersensitive culture, especially on social media?
Man, 100%. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, just to answer your question, I'm gonna say yes. But let me give you, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see how certain hip hop stars, stars that people, put in that star category, the ones that say represent hip hop, right? The ones that are on the radio 24/7. Every
Right.
their song plays six times in 5 minutes, right? Those
Right.
songs, right?
Those
Those
songs, right.
artists. They get these artists and then they have them promote, certain things to, I would say, keep us at a certain level. So they would have them promoting liquor, cigarettes, things that are not good for us. It could be heart medicine. It could be something that black people shouldn't be bothered with. But they take
Right.
those stars, the people, our idols, the people we love, the Beyonces, the Jay-Z's, or whoever, whoever's in the limelight, the ones that we love and honor. And, maybe they might, put them in a movie and put them in a skirt or something, put them in a dress, put a guy in a dress, or, put a woman, talking more tough, or, things of that nature. I mean, yeah, I think hip hop does play a role. Hip hop is the biggest genre of music in the world. So whatever we do in hip hop is going to be reflective on the world, man. And in hip hop, I mean, any subject matter, it could be
Okay.
politics, it could be whatever, man. Hip hop influences everything,
Everything, right?
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I have these headphones, man. I don't these noise canceling headphones, they keep everything inside. So it puts me in this. I always think it, but anyway, I gotta do better. I gotta do better. I'll do better, everybody. Yeah, I'll get better. But
Uncle Free, don't worry about it, man. Listen, man, you taught me the game, man, and and we still learning together on how to work these mics and earphones and all types of new
everything.
sites and stuff, man. Don't worry about it.
We'll get there one day.
We'll
We'll
get
get
there,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that place that we're trying to get to, everybody, is a place called Perfectville. So we made so we'll get there
Well, I'm
one
not trying to
day.
get there, but somewhere close, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity. Right. That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
get to.
yeah.
Yeah, to strive for it. Yep, yep. So but so just what the reason why I ask is because um my belief is hip hop didn't start that way,
Yeah,
but
of
the
course not.
more people that take part in it, um, the more you see hip hop get stretched to more and more and more limits and places that you never think hip hop would go or could get to. Right. And so the um I want to phrase it in a way where I'm not offensive, but um any well, here it is in a nutshell. I think the portrayal of um minorities in these um super produced mediums is not fair to what real life is like for minorities. And I mean all minorities. If you check the minority box, I'm talking about you,
Yeah,
right? So I think what happens is there is no guide rail to stop people from crossing over from reality into fantasy. There's no guardrail, right? There's no gatekeeper, so to speak. There's you know, we watch music videos with rappers with two fistfuls of money on their shoulders, driving $500,000 cars, talking about the dope game and how much money they make off of people in their community. Well, that's one person. And even if it's true, which is not, right? Even if it's true, why aren't we talking about the devastating effects of what that person does to their community?
or why aren't these same rappers balancing real life in their verses? So yeah, you can have the money on your ears, right? Okay,
Right.
now
Money
once you,
phones.
on
Yeah,
yeah,
money
money phones
phones.
or whatever, right? Once you take that money off your ear, what are you doing with that money?
Right.
What are you investing it? In the stock market, real estate business? Are you investing it in a business? Are you doing something with it that that makes you happy, and not just buying materialistic things? Like, what are you doing with the money that you had to your ear on Instagram 16 times today? Like, what are you doing with that money?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so part of that too, I guess, leads into my next question. And I have a feeling that I'm gonna make a gumbo of all these questions, even though I tried to keep them as separate
No, it's
things.
a conversation. We can bring them all in. Yeah, it don't
Right.
matter. Mesh them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, how is important is it to us as a community to teach financial literacy at the most basic level to our community in order to prevent us from having to be the drug dealer guy?
Let me first, thank you for that question, man. But let me first promote, and this has got nothing to do with. They don't. I don't. I'm not on their team. I'm not cool. They don't even know I'm doing this. But EYL, assets over liabilities, earn your leisure. These brothers, go tap into them on YouTube. You got
Right.
Ian Dunlap. He talks about stock market. They will get you excited, and they will get you investing and making money and doing your part. So the reason I wanted to say that, because the answer to your question really is we have to do our part, Uncle Freezy. When I say that, I mean like every individual, every black person, every person that's checking that box, that minority box you were talking about earlier.
Right.
We all have to do our part, meaning like, yes, we can work. Yes. If you like to work, work. But at the
Right.
same time, find your passion on the side, do something that you love, because eventually that passion could lead to a business or lead to you quitting your job and taking that full time because somebody's paying you for a seminar, paying you to do a YouTube channel, or paying you to do a book, or
Right.
what I'm saying, it could be anything.
Right.
So EYL, Earn Your Leisure, those guys are perfect examples. That like 3 years ago or longer, they was doing the same thing we're doing, and they were
Right.
just talking finance, stocks, trying to teaching people the ins and outs of business and how to get rich, how to get wealthy, how to
Right.
use money correctly, and look where it took them. You know what I mean? These guys are millionaires now. These guys are talking to billionaires now, and they're heading towards that way. You know,
Right.
I won't
Right.
be surprised that all three of them or more of those guys in that circle and gals in that circle, not gals, but women in that circle of them
Right.
won't be million. Not, I know they're gonna be millionaires, but what about billionaires? They might be billionaires. We got to do our own. So like when I'm doing videos or wherever I'm at, I'm always trying to spit a positive message. It could be it could be a video about a Mobb Deep album. And
Right.
Mobb Deep more negative, street lyrics.
Right.
But in that review, I talk about financial independence. I throw in some stuff about being passionate about of something and making money off it. I always try to throw in a message. You know what
Right.
I mean? Something smart, like with money
Right.
involved with all the reviews. Anything. If I'm gonna interview like this, I always try. Even if you didn't bring it up, I would have snuck it in somehow and talked about financial independence and family wealth, because that's my
Right.
next book. I'm writing another book, and I wanna talk about getting out of debt and all that other
Right.
stuff, and doing when you get out of debt, eventually what you're gonna do with your money, what should you
Right.
do with your money, and things like that. So that's next, man. That's next on the roster. So, but
Right.
yeah, it's really important. But everybody has to do their part. Everybody has to do their part and make money, make passive income, make money
Yeah.
while you sleep.
Right. Right. And, so man, there are like 6 or 7 things, bro. I wish we had like 2 or 3 hours to chop up all of that, man. We gotta at some point, man. I gotta ask you to rock again, because there were so many things that you said just now, right?
Yeah,
That I feel like deserve a deep dive,
yeah.
right? For one, you mentioned and I'm going by themes, right? You didn't necessarily say it, but there were themes. Like for one, you mentioned a team, people working together for a
Mm-hmm.
common goal, right? And
Exactly.
I don't know those brothers and sisters, right? But it sounds like they are working together because they have a shared goal, right?
Exactly.
Two, the financial literacy thing. You know what I'm saying? You can break that down in a multitude of ways. What are you doing with your money? Why is having that money so important to you? Is there another goal Is there another place that you're trying to get to, or are you just trying to get to the bag, right? Because there is no harm in strictly being an accumulator, right? If you're an accumulator, whatever. I mean, everybody's goals are different,
Yeah,
right? So like my goal is to be free, right? That's my goal, to make enough money where I can do stuff like write books, do podcasts, and
exactly. Me
and
too.
and and other things,
Yeah.
right? So that I can do things that I want to do while that money works to support my lifestyle, right? Um, the fact that those guys are thinking about the future is another thing, and I think as minorities, I think minorities don't necessarily think about the future way down the road. And so for those that don't know, I'm in finance, you know what I'm saying? And I talk to people a lot about wealth management, um, retirement planning, life insurance, things of that sort. Right. As a matter of fact, I gotta run the life insurance commercial during this. So I'll probably run it in like a second or two. But when I talk to um 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 my white brothers and sisters, right, they value the future and they value legacy,
Yeah.
right? You know, and listen, and I'm not, and I applaud that. They value the future. They'll invest in the future. Now, my brothers and sisters, we don't value the future. We value the right now, this moment. And I'm talking about in general, right? And I'm
Yeah,
talking
in
about in
general, it's not
general.
the whole
Yeah, it's not
black
it's not
community, everybody that's black. I know. Yeah.
right. And so we value the moment. We will take, if we get $300 from somewhere that we have to spare, we will spend that money on Jordans,
No, it's a
right?
known fact. It's a known fact. It's if you look up all the stats and the numbers, it shows that once we get paid, black people usually give it right back to the community of not our community, but the other community.
Right.
And yeah, we have nothing to show for it. We don't spend. I think black people make. I think we spend 3 billion a year, something like that, some crazy
On
ridiculous number.
entertainment. On
And
entertainment.
that's ridiculous. It's like, and we're not, none of that money gets right back to us at all. Not even like, I think it's
Right.
like 1% comes back to the hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? So more
It's
needs to
very
come.
ridiculous.
Yeah, more money needs to. I saw Big Mike. No, not Big Mike. Killer Mike say
Killer
something.
Mike. Yeah.
He said something recently. I think on Matt Hoffa. He said something. He said something about how, like, they're talking about similar subjects, and he said, man, if everybody just gave like $1 to, to say, like, yeah, I'm Boston, right? Everybody, black person, give $1. So now we got a black fund in Boston. So whoever's, then we control that money. And then if we want to put roads on the street, we put roads on the street. We want to put, we can do
Right.
our own community. We could save ourselves. Black people can
Right.
save themselves by putting money. It's all about trust. Nobody trusts each other. We don't trust each other. So if I say, Uncle Freezie, get all your friends, bring up, everybody give me $1 a month, and then end of the year we're gonna buy a house, and everybody then we're gonna start buying houses and condos, and we're gonna get rich.
Right. Right.
A lot of people will be like, yeah, it's a good idea, but then they won't do it because they don't
And
trust you or
you know,
trust
and
you.
not even if you give them and you're talking about $1, right? We're talking about
$1,
100, we're talking about 100 pennies,
100
right?
pennies.
Over just 1 year, just everybody just save up 100 pennies over the course of a year, just give it, right? Because I think you have about what 17 million, between 17 and 18 million black people in the United States. If everybody gave of 100 pennies a year, then we can make those changes, right?
That's it. And then of course you want to go up. You want to go to 5. You want to go to 10. And then
Right.
we can control our own destiny and our own future, man. We can, like, when there's a problem in New Orleans or some black communities, Puerto
Right.
Rico, we already got the funds for it. We have
Right.
the funds are already in some account or whatever it is, a black account or black something that's getting
Right.
interest, like in the
Right.
stock market or in REITs or somewhere. The money's collecting interest and not pennies on $1 at a bank.
Right. But well, for one, we're not going to do that. I think because, um, like most communities that have a wide range of economic situations, there are always going to be the vultures out there looking to take advantage of that group. Plus,
That's
there
where
are
the
all,
trust. That's where the trust thing comes in, because
and
people
I
gonna
was going to
say,
say,
"Oh, in
yep,
the past that happened. In the past this happened to, I
yeah,
don't know, Jimmy Fund or whatever fund there
yeah,
was or whatever, the church fund or whatever, right?" So
right,
yeah, it's a trust issue, man. You gotta trust. We gotta trust each other, man. It's gonna be hard. I got that written on my arm. I got love, trust, and loyalty on my arm, man. Those are the things that we need, and
yeah,
hopefully we can eventually do that in small fractions, like in cities maybe first, and then go to
right.
states, and then go bigger to worldwide. I mean, let's see what happens.
Yeah, we need it. We need a charismatic, honest leader
I don't know about the
to
leader thing. I
to
think we
get
all.
people
I think we all. I think we all. We're all leaders in some sort. I know what
right,
you mean. I think we need some people that's smart enough to like invest and do certain things with the money, and
right,
and that's where the trust factors in. So it got to be some contracts that's written so neatly, so simple,
right,
and just saying, hey, if you donate $1 a month, you get this. Your family gets this. Maybe like if the lightning just hits my house,
right,
that fund automatically gets me a new roof. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, so that's the type of stuff we're talking about. Something simple, something clear, and then we can see the money. We can basically kind of touch the money, and we see where the money's going. Like like soon as something happens to, maybe your equipment or something. Like, oh, Uncle Freezy needs new equipment because he needs to be live on the radio in 2 seconds.
Right, right, right.
One's right there. Boom, we got new equipment for you, man. You're on, man, and you don't lose a beat. But it's still got to be stuff like that, man. But for everybody, man, for every situation, like a
I
union,
disagree
like a
with you on that
union,
though.
like a
I
union.
disagree with you on that because what I learned over time is that um people generally put trust in people that they wish they could be, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
stars, the people that are they can't be that they can't even touch.
right? It's because if Beyonce asked them to give $1 every month, you can best believe
Oh,
Beyonce would be getting that $12 a year. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Maybe she
Right,
needs to do that. Maybe Jay-Z is somebody that we respect. Beyonce and Jay-Z would be perfect to do that. I believe a majority of black people trust them. They
right,
can say that to us and whoever worldwide, and I think a majority of people, will do it. And then you do it, you get like a union card, a hip hop card, and
right,
it tells you your benefits. It tells you that you can get this if this happens to your house or your car breaks down.
right.
You can call this number, and you know what I'm saying. Somebody in Boston will help you. Somebody in Atlanta will help you. Somebody where New
Some type
Jersey.
of union though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you got to be united. You got to be
Yeah, you got to
united.
be
Better be
united,
some
and then that's
type
where
of
your
union.
money's going. So like,
Right,
and it's not a lot of money. You paying what? Cable. You paying all these apps. You're paying for the phone. You're paying for, so many other things that you probably don't even remember. Sometimes you forget you're paying for. You go, oh, I'm still paying for certain apps. You sometimes people forget 6 months, a whole year passed, and you paying for a service and didn't even know.
right. That's where I was. That's where I was gonna try to talk about in these last 5 or so minutes, bro. That I think in our communities we throw away so much money
Too much.
that
Too much money.
that we feel like in other areas we feel pressure to aspire to something else. But we throw, yeah, how many people in our communities you think have Netflix?
Everybody probably got Netflix.
Everybody, bro. You
Everybody got
paying
it. Everybody's talking
that
about, you see this on Netflix, da da da,
or
Netflix,
Stars
stars,
or Amazon Prime. Some
Prime,
people
yeah.
have all of them,
All of them.
all the apps,
All
and
of them.
then they have that gym membership they pay for. They only
And
go
not,
once a month,
they only went like the first month and then they
and they
stopped.
still paying for it. They've been paying 7 months, only been to the gym
Yeah,
twice.
yeah, yeah.
Right, and so there are all these subscriptions that people pay for and I tell you that I feel like as a community, if we were more financially disciplined, that we'd be more open to financial literacy. But if you don't know how to spend monies, save money,
Mm-hmm.
invest money, then the trappings of let me just say, I think there is a miseducation of the financial scope for us. Definitely a miseducation. Some of it is you don't know what you don't know, and some of it is the people that are selling these products want you to spend that money.
Yep.
You know, I,
100%.
I, yeah, man, yeah, man. So
No,
so
100%. I believe you 100%, man. You
what?
you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, man. So let me ask this too. What was the name of the first book you wrote?
The first book is Severe's Chronicles, Volume 1, because I knew I was going to do various versions. That's why I called it Volume 1 right off the bat. So there's a lot of artists that you may know or you may not know in this book. Nas, Little Kim, there's chapters on DJ Quick, Conway the Machine, Shay Noah, Holy James. And then see how I do the split. So it started with DJ Kool Herc and all that, and then I just split the tape, the film, and then I get into the ones that are in the book. And
Okay.
so yeah, man. I think, did you have a book? I think you should do a book. And if you do, man, True Vine Publishing, tell them I sent you, man. So I can get me a deal, another deal. But
Yeah,
book, man, you need to write a financial book, Uncle Freezie, man.
I definitely have one. I have a hip hop book that I'm working on right now.
Oh, you work? Oh,
Yeah,
word.
and so I have about 20 chapters written already, and it's about the real history of hip hop. Because
Oh,
what happens is people think one day Kool Herc had a bright idea through a party, and hip hop was born. But nah,
no.
hip hop wasn't born there. Hip hop is, and I know you know this, but I'm speaking to those globally,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hip
Talking to
hop,
people that don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
tell them.
So hip hop is not rap music. Rap music is rap music, right? But hip hop is a culture. It's the slick way that we talk, or the way that we like to, or and hip hop is wearing baseball caps, kind of cocked to the side, kind
Yep.
of repping your hood. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You know
you
what I'm
like
saying?
this, they,
Hip hop is how when our uncles and fathers and brothers came home from Vietnam, we snuck in their room and stole their army fatigues and army jackets and started wearing it on the street. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep. hundred
Hip hop,
percent.
yeah, hip hop is about how in school it'd be 30 of us in a classroom, and we'll have a substitute teacher, and the substitute teacher don't have a lesson plan, so she just give us a free period, and we'll be banging on the desk. We'll be banging on the boom, ba-tap, boom, boom, tap, boom, ba-tap, boom, boom, and we'll just be in there. We'll be in there rapping about stuff that either we saw or stuff that we dream about. hip hop is about Hip hop is about dreaming the impossible dream. Hip hop is about living a hard life that you can't escape from, no matter how much you cry at night, right? Hip hop is about seeing your two older sisters being on drugs,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and,
Oh.
and your mom trying to get them off drugs, and then your pop done moved down south with a younger chick, and you and,
Yep.
you-
Yep.
and,
Yep.
and you trying to figure out like you know what I'm saying, like how you gonna survive because you hate to see your sisters and your mom can't bring nothing home because your sisters will steal it and sell it because they have an addiction, right? Hip hop is about not being able to walk on a car lot and buy the brand new caddy, but maybe you'll buy the caddy that's 15 years old, right? Throw some rims, throw some D's on it.
Yep. Those are
You know what I'm
big.
saying?
Change the speaker system. Put a speaker in the back. A big
Yep.
speaker, a house speaker.
And customize it. Yeah, you can't go to the dealership and buy a new one, right? But you buy an old one and customize it.
Customize it. Yep.
Yeah, that's hip hop, man.
I
Yeah,
love it.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, the books and stuff. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Can you send me? Do you have a write up of it?
I do. I do have a write up of the books. Yep.
If you email it to me, I'll copy it and paste it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. But
Shout out to the chat, man. Everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody watching this now, man. Supporting my channel, supporting me, man. Supporting Uncle Freezie, man. Supporting our movement, man.
Yeah.
I see Uncle Freezie move. I feel like moving, man. He motivates me to do better. So shout
Bro,
out to Uncle
we
Freezie.
rocking, bro. Doing the best we can. Doing the best we can. We got. I feel like the literacy thing
Yeah.
is a real thing. So in these last 2 or so minutes, man, I just want to say I feel like our culture is an artificial puffed up culture, right? And what I mean by that is I believe the smart guys are pushed to the back of the line, and the artificial guys are pushed up out front to represent our culture. Like instead of us talking about Severe and Uncle Freezy, guys like Lil Wayne are up front talking about representing the entire race. Now, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't want Young Thugger representing all black men.
Me neither.
You know what
Me
I'm saying?
neither.
But
Or
but
Lil Wayne, or like,
yeah, yeah,
or Ice
yeah.
Spice, or anybody like that. They don't
Oh
represent
yeah,
them.
or Ice Spice, right,
Yeah.
right. But I feel like we get a lot of that because they have the most open of open mics in order to talk, and we have mics that are open but not as open as theirs, right? So, you have
Shout out to
anything?
Cardi B though. Shout out to Cardi B for at least attempting to use her voice and platform for to you know and for people to vote and do something positive.
And shout out to Cardi B for maturing right in front of us.
Yeah, maturing. That's what I'm saying. I want to give her some shouts because it ain't everybody out there. Shit, and she's still shaking her butt.
Yeah,
I mean, she know how to do it. She's one of the best butt shakers out there, but she
right,
still uses her platform for positive imagery. At least like
right,
her being a positive mother to the
right,
kids, her forgiving a man and
right.
figuring things out in life and staying married and shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's
Y-
she's she's a role model now.
Yeah, shout out to her also for learning on the job and sharing what she learned. Going
Cardi
back to the
B,
theme
Cardi
of what we
B,
just started.
Cardi B is another person that needs to use her platform to teach financial literacy, financial independence to these women out here. They
Right,
can shake your butt all you
right,
want, but get
right.
paid for it.
We
You know what I'm
get
saying?
paid for it. Yeah, because there are others that have come through, come across our screens, like Rihanna. You're like, okay, one day she talking about umbrella, Ella, a. Next thing you know, she's a billionaire. You're like, yeah,
Yeah,
how did she get from point A to point B? She ain't share none of that.
none of that.
With yeah, she ain't share none of that. It makes me think that maybe she is an industry plant. Like, do a certain thing, we'll pay you all this money. Just you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I don't know about the energy plant thing, but I do believe in a lot of conspiracies in the industry and
Right,
situations and people being planted. I believe a lot of that stuff. I don't know
right,
about Rihanna, but 'cause I know she worked her butt off. She actually freestyled for Jay-Z, got her shine, and what made her a billionaire was a makeup line. A makeup line,
cosmetic line. Yeah,
cosmetics and liquor will get you to that $1 billion mark, and that's what a lot of people are doing.
right,
Kanye did it, but he did it with Nikes and sneakers. But clothing too, you could do it.
right.
Puffy did it. Who else? Went to that billionaire mark. Everybody. And that's
Dr.
what
Dre.
Dr. Dre did it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
50
yeah,
Cent a little bit.
yeah,
Yep. 50 Cent.
yeah.
So yeah, man. This is what they do. And I mean, I don't hate on it, man. But it's a check, man, and it gives them uh, some type of history of black people making it, and we could be billionaires. So they kind of still role models, and they reflect more optimistically than pessimistically to
Right,
me. No matter if they're clones or planted or not, man. But I think it still gives us energy if we use it correctly, and not just honoring them those stars and just trying to be exactly like them because we
right,
hopefully being original and doing things that we love and getting paid for what we love and eventually just being happy because you chasing happiness is the most important thing you can do, not
yeah,
chasing the dollar. Chasing happiness is better
right.
than chasing the dollar.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Man, bro, this hour went by so fast, bro.
I know, man. I know, yo, man. You talk, man. We like to talk. We got this conversation. Yeah, I know, man. We
Yeah,
gotta do it
man.
again, man. We gotta do it again.
We,
Listen,
yeah,
you
yeah, we gotta do it
still
again.
active. I'm still active. It's not like we're gonna always have things to talk about, man. So maybe I can come on again. Let me know.
Yeah, or vice versa. Or we can take the
Yeah,
show on the
you come on
road.
my
Come
show.
come
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Come hang
Yeah,
out
you
with
come on
you.
my show. Yeah.
When you send me the thing, send me the info about the book publisher and your books and such,
Yeah.
then I'll definitely include it in the description of this video so that fans that are watching right now and that those will watch in the future can just click on the links to those that and so they can go directly to it, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't want them to go on a scavenger hunt because a lot of times,
They're
you
not
can put
gonna.
people on the
Yeah,
scavenger
they're
hunt
gonna do
real
it. They can't
quick.
click one time. Our
It-
attention span is so short. They can't click it once. They,
right.
they they gotta forget about it. And the next thing's the next thing, man. They
The
gotta forget
next
about
thing,
my
the next
book.
thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, so if we can do that, man, I'll definitely do that. And then at some point we have to schedule again where we can chop it up.
Yeah,
Um I guess the next time we talked, the talk will be kind of easier because I had to lay down the framework of some, what the conversations kind of be like so the audience can have an expectation of how to follow and what to expect.
exactly.
So it's one of those things, man. But you got anything to say to everybody before we get out of here?
No, man, I just want to thank all the people that have been supporting me in the past. A lot of people have been supporting my merch line. Me and my daughter have a clothing line. We have a merch line. They've been supporting my merch and my daughter's merch. People have been
Okay.
supporting my books. All three books people have been buying from, international places like Germany or, London. People have been buying my books in the States mostly. Shout out to my family and friends that's been supporting me. A lot of people that
Shouts
say,
out.
family and friends don't support, but when our first book came out, they supported like crazy. A lot of them, pretty much the majority of my family and friends bought it. And
Right.
so I want to thank, people that don't know me, that, know me, that support me with the merch, the books, and, and my videos. They love watching
Right.
the videos of me reviewing artists, mostly rappers, mostly hip hop, but I do sometimes do rock stars or country stars, or if you challenge me, I'll do an album sometimes too. So they got to be a good album. It can't just be. Don't challenge me to do Pee Wee Herman's greatest hits or something.
Nah,
You
we
know what I mean? Give me something challenging, and if it's good, I'll listen to it and I'll
yeah.
review it. So thanks for everybody that's been support me, and thank you, Uncle Freezie, for having me on your show, man, and
Right.
support me. You've been supporting me ever since I've known you, man, in little
Yes,
ways here
man.
and there, and not knowing it.
Right.
Uh, I love what you do, man. I look up to you, man. I follow
Appreciate
you,
you.
man. You know
Appreciate you. Appreciate that.
what I'm saying?
And so that's what we do. That's what we do. We, what I'm saying, rock together so that we can knock
Yeah.
off the rough edges so that we'll be a more refined product going forward. So that when we contribute positivity, right? Pure positivity. So that's the main
100%.
thing. But hey, vibes and stuff, crowd and the Chop It Up fans. Thank y'all for rocking. Hopefully we can continue to take old lessons to make new friends,
Mhm.
right? Thank you for rocking with us for this Saturday afternoon. We are out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.